You're sitting at your desk, pretending to work on a spreadsheet, but what you're really doing is scrolling through job listings on your phone. Again, you tell yourself this is the answer: a better job, a higher salary, more money coming in every month. Because surely, if you just earned more, everything would click into place. You'd finally be able to save. You'd finally get ahead. You'd finally stop feeling like you're drowning. But here's the truth you're avoiding. You've been down this road before. You got the last raise, you landed the last better job, and within 6 months, you were right back here. Broke, stressed, searching for the next opportunity that's going to save you. It's not the job, it's not the salary. It's the 3 invisible mistakes you're making that keep you poor, no matter how much you earn.
And until you fix them, every raise, every promotion, every new position will lead you right back to this moment, sitting at a desk you hate, searching for an escape that doesn't exist. But once you see these mistakes clearly, everything changes. Because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what's keeping you poor after 30. The psychological traps, the hidden patterns, and the silent wealth killers that have nothing to do with your salary. And more importantly, I'm going to give you a step-by-step system to break free from each. The salary. If you just earned more, you'd be able to save. You'd be able to invest. You'd finally stop feeling like you're drowning. But here's what's really happening. You're making the same 3 mistakes that keep most people trapped in financial mediocrity well into their 30s and 40s. And the worst part? A bigger paycheck won't fix them. In fact, it might make them worse. Because the problem isn't how much you earn, it's what you do with it. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what's keeping you poor after 30. The psychological traps, the hidden patterns, and the silent wealth killers that no one talks about. And more importantly, I'm going to give you a step-by-step system to break free from each one. You'll understand why that job you're hoping for won't solve your problems. You'll see why your current approach to money might actually be sabotaging your future. And you'll discover the invisible expenses that are quietly draining thousands of dollars from your life every single year, even while you're working full-time. By the end of this video, you'll have complete clarity on what needs to change and exactly how to do it, even if you never get that raise you're waiting for. I'm James, and I've spent far too much time breaking down how the rich actually think and what they do differently that no one ever teaches you. So if you're tired of refreshing job boards hoping someone will pay you enough to fix your life, if you're ready to finally understand what's been holding you back, and if you want a clear path forward 1 mile at a time, then keep watching. And if this kind of clarity is what you've been looking for, hit that subscribe button right now, because the videos on this channel will give you the financial education you never got in school, the kind that actually changes your life. If you don't subscribe, you'll keep searching for answers in the same places that got you here. Let me paint you a picture. You wake up every morning, go to work, pay your bills, try to save a little when you can. You're not reckless. You're not buying sports cars or taking luxury vacations every month. You're just living. But somehow, you're still broke. Your friends who make less than you seem to be doing fine. They're buying houses, they're investing, they're building something. And you're still wondering when it's going to be your turn. You've read the articles, you've listened to the podcasts, you know you're supposed to save, invest, cut back on lattes, all the usual advice, but nothing seems to stick. Nothing seems to move the needle. And the worst part is the guilt. The guilt of knowing you should be further along by now. The guilt of watching another year pass without real progress. The guilt of feeling like you're failing at something everyone else seems to figure out. But here's the truth. You're not failing. You're just playing by the wrong rules. The system you've been following, the one that says work hard, save money, and everything will be fine, isn't complete. It's missing the 3 critical pieces that actually determine whether you build wealth or stay stuck. And once you understand what those pieces are, you'll realize that your struggle wasn't about willpower or intelligence. It was about clarity.
So let's talk about the 3 mistakes that are keeping you poor after 30. These aren't the obvious ones. Everyone knows not to rack up credit card debt or buy things they can't afford. These are deeper, more psychological, and far more dangerous because they're disguised as responsible behavior. Mistake number 1, you're treating income like wealth. Mistake number 2, you're investing without a system of protection. Mistake number 3, you're ignoring the psychological cost of your financial decisions. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, I thought earning more money was the goal. I thought investing was what I'm supposed to do. And you're right, partially. But here's what no one tells you. Earning more doesn't make you rich if your lifestyle scales with your income. Investing doesn't build wealth if you're forced to liquidate during a crisis. And saving money doesn't create freedom if every dollar saved comes with stress, guilt, and deprivation. The real problem isn't what you're doing. It's what you're not seeing. So let's break down each mistake. And more importantly, let's fix them. Mistake number 1, treating income like wealth. This is the most common trap, and it's incredibly easy to fall into. You get a raise, you feel good about it, you start spending a little more. Nothing crazy, just nicer things. A better apartment, a newer car, dinners at slightly better restaurants. You deserve it, right? And then 6 months later, you check your bank account and realize nothing has changed. You're making more money than ever before, and you're still living paycheck to paycheck. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's one of the silent wealth killers that keeps people trapped for decades. Here's the thing. Income is not wealth. Income is cash flow. It's water running through your hands. Wealth is what you keep. Wealth is the reservoir you build over time. And here's the brutal truth. Most people spend their entire lives increasing their income without ever building wealth. They make $40,000, then $60,000, then $80,000, and they're still broke at every level. Because every time they earn more, they spend more. The car gets nicer, the apartment gets bigger, the vacations get fancier, and the bank account? It stays empty. This happens because we've been conditioned to believe that success looks like consumption. We measure our progress by what we buy, not by what we build. But here's what changes everything. Wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. The person making $50,000 and saving $10,000 is wealthier than the person making $100,000 and saving nothing. It's that simple. So if you're stuck in this trap, here's how you fix it. You implement what I call the inverted 50-30-20 rule. Most people know the 50-30-20 budgeting rule. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for savings and investments. But here's the problem. When you structure it that way, saving is an afterthought. It's what's left over after you've already spent on everything else. And most of the time, there's nothing left. So we invert it. You pay yourself first. The moment your paycheck hits your account, 20% goes straight into savings and investments. Automatically, non-negotiable. Then, and only then, you live on the remaining 80%. This one shift changes everything, because now building wealth isn't something you try to do if there's money left over. It's the foundation of your financial life. And here's what's beautiful about this approach. It forces you to adjust your lifestyle to fit your wealth-building goals, instead of adjusting your wealth-building goals to fit your lifestyle. Let me give you a real example. If you're making $4,000 a month, 20% is $800. That goes directly into a high-yield savings account or an investment account before you even see it. Now you have $3,200 to work with. $2,000 for needs, rent, groceries, utilities, $1,200 for wants, restaurants, entertainment, hobbies. Is it tight? Maybe. But here's the thing. In 12 months, you'll have $9,600 saved. In 2 years, nearly $20,000. And that number, that growing balance in your account, starts to change how you think, how you feel, how you make decisions. Because now you're not just earning money, you're building something. If this is starting to click for you, do yourself a favor and subscribe to this channel. Because every video here is designed to give you one more piece of the puzzle,
one more mile on the road to financial freedom. And if you don't subscribe, you'll miss the next steps that tie all of this together. Mistake number 2, investing without a system of protection. This one's tricky because on the surface, it sounds like you're doing the right thing. You hear all the advice about investing early, letting compound interest work its magic, putting your money in the market. So you do it. You open a brokerage account, you start contributing to your 401k, maybe you buy some index funds, and you feel good about it. You feel like you're finally being responsible. But here's the problem. If you don't have a financial safety net underneath you, investing becomes a trap. Here's what happens. Life throws you a curveball. Your car breaks down, your laptop dies, you have a medical bill, your hours get cut at work. Suddenly, you need cash. Fast. And where do you turn? Your investments. You sell your stocks at a loss. You pull money out of your 401k and pay the penalty. You liquidate everything you've been building just to survive. And just like that, all your progress is gone. This is why so many people feel like they can never get ahead. They're trying to build wealth without building stability first. It's like trying to construct a skyscraper on quicksand. The foundation isn't there. So here's the truth. You can't build wealth if you're living in constant financial fear. And that's what life without an emergency fund feels like. It's a low-grade anxiety that never goes away. Every unexpected expense feels like a disaster. Every financial decision is tinged with panic. But once you have that cushion, once you know you can handle the unexpected, everything changes. Your brain stops operating in survival mode. You stop making desperate decisions. You can actually think long-term. So here's the system I use, and it's what I recommend to anyone starting from zero. The 3-layer protection system. Layer 1. $1,000 in immediate emergency savings. This is your first milestone. $1,000 sitting in a savings account that you don't touch unless it's a real emergency. Not a sale, not a vacation, not a new phone, an actual emergency. This layer exists to stop you from going into debt when something unexpected happens. And trust me, something unexpected will happen. Layer 2, 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. Once you hit that first $1,000, you keep going. Now you're building a true safety net. Calculate your essential monthly expenses: rent, utilities, groceries, insurance, minimum debt payments. Then multiply that by 3 or 6 if your income is unstable. This is your "I just lost my job and I'm not panicking" fund. This is what allows you to sleep at night. Layer 3. Only then do you invest aggressively. Once you have layers 1 and 2 in place, now and only now do you start pouring money into long-term investments. Because now, if life happens, you don't have to sell your stocks. You don't have to raid your retirement account. You have a system that protects your wealth while you're building it. And here's the psychological shift that happens. Once you have this foundation, investing stops feeling risky. It starts feeling like progress. Because you're not betting your survival on the stock market. You're building wealth on top of a stable foundation. Let me give you the numbers. If your essential monthly expenses are $2,500, your full emergency fund is $7,500 to $15,000. Sounds like a lot, right? But if you're saving $800 a month using the inverted 50-30-20 rule, you'll hit $7,500 in less than 10 months. 10 months to completely change your financial psychology. 10 months to go from anxious to secure. And once you're there, that's when the real wealth building begins. If you're realizing right now that this is the missing piece you've been looking for, hit subscribe, because the next video I'm releasing breaks down exactly how much you need at every stage of life and how to get there faster than you think. Don't lose this momentum. Mistake number 3. Ignoring the psychological cost of your financial decisions. This is the sneakiest one because it's not about big, obvious mistakes. It's about the small, seemingly harmless choices that drain your wealth slowly over time. Let me ask you something. Do you know how much you spent last month on food delivery? On subscription services you barely use? On impulse purchases that seem cheap in the moment?
Most people don't. And that's the problem. These aren't the expenses that hurt when you make them. They're the ones that quietly bleed you dry over months and years. A $12 lunch here, a $50 subscription there, a $30 Uber instead of taking the bus. None of it feels significant, but it adds up to thousands of dollars a year that vanish without leaving any real value behind. I call these invisible leaks. And the reason they're so dangerous is because they don't trigger your financial alarm system. Your brain doesn't register a $15 expense as a threat, so you keep making them over and over. But here's what happens when you add them up. Let's say you spend $10 a day on small, forgettable things. Coffee, snacks, convenience purchases. That's $300 a month, $3,600 a year. Now imagine if you redirected just half of that, $150 a month into an investment account earning 8% annually. In 10 years, that's over $27,000. In 20 years, $88,000. That's the real cost, not the $10 today, the $88,000 you never built. And here's the brutal part. Most people don't realize this until it's too late. They look back at 40, 50, 60 years old and think, where did all my money go? It didn't go anywhere dramatic, it just leaked out, $10 at a time, for decades. So how do you fix this? You run what I call a 30-day financial audit. Here's how it works. For 30 days, you track every single dollar you spent. Not approximately, not I think I spent around this much. Every single dollar. Use an app, use a spreadsheet, use a notebook. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you see the truth. And here's what you're looking for. The patterns. The subscriptions you forgot you had. The habits that cost more than you thought. The expenses that don't actually bring you any joy or value. Once you see them clearly, you can make conscious decisions. Maybe you realize you're spending $200 a month on food delivery, and you don't even enjoy it that much. You're just too tired to cook. Now you have a choice. You can keep doing it, or you can redirect that $200 into your emergency fund, to your investments, your future. And here's the key. This isn't about deprivation. It's about intentionality. If you love your gym membership and it genuinely improves your life, keep it. If you get real joy from your coffee ritual every morning, keep it. But if you're spending money out of habit, convenience, or mindless consumption, cut it. Because every dollar you free up is a dollar that can work for you instead of disappearing into the void. And when you start redirecting those invisible leaks into your wealth-building system, the numbers start moving fast. $150 a month suddenly becomes $1,800 a year. Add that to the $9,600 you're already saving with the inverted 50-30-20 rule, and now you're putting away $11,400 annually. That's real wealth building. That's real progress. And it all starts with seeing clearly. So let's bring this all together. You've got 3 mistakes that have been keeping you poor after 30. Treating income like wealth, investing without protection, ignoring the psychological cost of your decisions. And you've got 3 solutions. The inverted 50-30-20 rule. Pay yourself first, build wealth automatically. The 3-layer protection system. $1,000 emergency fund, then 3 to 6 months of expenses, then invest aggressively. The 30-day financial audit. Track everything, cut the leaks, redirect to your future. Now here's what happens when you actually implement this. Let's say you're 32 years old, making $50,000 a year, and you're starting from zero. Month 1, you set up automatic transfers. 20% of your paycheck, $833 per month, goes straight into savings before you touch it. Month 2, you run your financial audit. You find $150 in monthly leaks, subscriptions you don't use, habits you don't value. You cut them and redirect that money to your emergency fund. Now you're saving $983 a month. Month 10, you hit your first $1,000 emergency fund. Layer 1 complete. Month 20, you've built up $15,000 in total savings. Your full emergency fund, 6 months of essential expenses at $2,500 per month, is in place. Layer 2 complete. Month 21, now you shift gears. You keep $2,000 per year going into your emergency fund to maintain it, and you redirect the rest, $9,800 per year, into investments. Year 5, your emergency fund is still intact. Your investment account has grown to over $55,000, assuming 8% annual returns. Year 10, you're sitting on $140,000 in invested assets, plus your fully funded emergency fund. And here's what's changed. It's not just the numbers, it's how you feel. You're not anxious anymore. You're not one emergency away from disaster. You're not stuck. You have options. You have breathing room. You have control. And that feeling of control is what wealth actually is. It's not about buying fancy things or impressing people. It's about waking up every day knowing you're going to be okay. That's the real transformation. Subscribe to this channel if you want more of this. Clear, step-by-step guidance that actually works. Because every video here is designed to move you 1 mile closer to financial freedom. And if you skip it, you'll keep wondering why everyone else seems to be getting ahead while you're stuck. Here's what I want you to understand. The reason you're not where you want to be financially isn't because you're lazy or stupid or unlucky. It's because you've been operating with incomplete information. You've been playing a game where the rules were never explained, where the system was designed to keep you consuming, not building, where every message you received told you to earn more, spend more, look successful, but never to build actual wealth. And now you know better. You know that income isn't wealth. You know that investing without protection is dangerous. You know that small, invisible leaks can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. But more than that, you know what to do about it. You have a system now, a clear, actionable path forward. And the beautiful thing about this path is that it doesn't require you to be perfect. It doesn't require you to make 6 figures or live like a monk or get lucky with crypto. It just requires you to be consistent, intentional, patient, 1 month at a time, 1 milestone at a time, 1 mile at a time. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize you're not the same person you were when you started. You're not anxious, you're not stuck, you're not poor. You're free. Not because you got rich overnight, but because you built something real, something solid, something that can't be taken away by 1 bad month or 1 unexpected bill. That's the goal. Not wealth for wealth's sake, but freedom, peace of mind, the ability to live your life without constantly worrying about money. And it's closer than you think. So here's what I want you to do next. Take the first step today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Set up that automatic transfer. Run that financial audit. Start building your $1,000 emergency fund. Because every day you wait is another day you stay stuck in the same patterns that brought you here. And I'll be here every week giving you the tools, the strategies, and the clarity you need to keep moving forward. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel because the next video is going to show you exactly how much you need to save at every stage of life, from your 20s all the way to retirement. And it's going to give you a roadmap so clear you'll wonder why no one ever showed you this before. Click on the video that's showing up on your screen right now. Don't let this momentum die. Because here's the truth. Money doesn't fix your life. It gives you the space to fix it yourself. And you deserve that space. I'm James, and remember, progress happens 1 mile at a time.